A prototype of the spaceship designed to replace the shuttle is now in New Mexico being prepared for launch.
An Orion capsule arrived at White Sands Missile Range this morning. It will undergo many of the same tests NASA did on the Apollo capsule at White Sands more than 40 years ago. Bob Martin was on hand for its arrival.
With no fanfare, the spacecraft that NASA is pinning the future of the entire manned spaceflight program on arrived by truck at the Army's White Sands Missile Range. While Orion looks much like an Apollo capsule from the moon program, it's much larger, designed to carry as many as 6 astronauts.
This vehicle is designed to not only go back to the moon, but on to Mars, so we have to take that into consideration.
NASA built a new launch complex at White Sands just to test Orion's escape system. A new gantry sits near the spot where more than 40 years ago, a similar escape system for Apollo spacecraft was tested. Missile Range staff are pleased NASA is back with Orion.
We are. I mean, how can you not be excited to be able to work with this next generation of space equipment?
An escape motor will be mounted on this Orion and both launched here at White Sands.
What we expect to see is that the vehicle is going to go about a mile up in the air, and then the vehicle will reorient itself, and then we expect to see the abort system separate at about a mile up in the air, and then we hope to see 3 big parachutes come out, and then have the vehicle come down and land at about 30 feet per second out in the desert.
Before they ever put a real escape motor on a real Orion here, crews will first practice with this simulated escape motor. The mock-up is an exact copy of the real thing, and crews will practice attaching it to this mock-up of the crew module. After they get procedures nailed down, technicians hope to begin assembling the real flight hardware in January. NASA hopes to start flying Orion with astronauts by 2015. Bob Martin, KRQE News 13, White Sands Missile Range.
Pretty cool stuff there. Now, the first liftoff of the Orion at White Sands is scheduled for no earlier than January 29th. There would be 4 launches in New Mexico over the next 5 years.